everybody, and welcome. Nice to have you join me, friends. My name is Dr. Heather Carden. I'm coming to you live from my public page, which is Ask Dr. Heather. The goal of this page is actually to help you or give you a platform where you can actually ask some health concerns that you have or some health topics that you may be wanting to know a little bit more about. It's Ask, Act, Achieve. So I'm going to give you some action to actually start achieving the health status that you want. We are in the middle of our 10-day Keto Basic, Keto Life question series. I get hundreds of questions every week about the ketone conversation, low carb conversation. And so I dedicated these 10 days to you guys and all of your questions. So thank you for everyone who's written in about topics to talk about. I know we've got, like yesterday, a ton of questions about thyroid, but I already have a video on thyroid. But I thought, you know what? When I did the Keto Basics series, I really wanted to be just about keto life, keto basics, getting started, and where all these common misconcerns are, or questions that we have. So one of the other hot topics that I have, so I'm not ignoring your thyroid questions, I think we're going to designate our Thursday night, which is our Health Flick series. We're actually deep dive into one chronic health concern or one of the top health concerns that people have out there. But today we're going to talk about carbohydrates, counting. I have another video that says I don't do math, but I'm going to be a little bit more targeted today. So no, this is meant for you to share. So take a minute, tag a friend, share this if you want to afterwards. This is always about education and helping you understand how to optimize your life. So who's confused? Raise your hand. Total carbs, net carbs, sugar alcohol, fiber, non-fiber, net total. Who's confused out there? Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to help create some, thank you, Robin, and thank you, Tony. I'm going to help create some just blanket statements that we use at Carden Center for Wellness with our patients to really help eliminate. We could do an hour conversation on this. We can get deeper dive into the concept, but very specifically, what we do know is this is a simple definition. What are net carbs? Net carbs are any carbohydrate that affects your blood sugar. So if it doesn't affect your blood sugar, it's not a net carb. So we're going to make this again very simple. Total versus net. You're going to see all the time on packaged food. And I brought some packaged foods from my pantry. So this is a keto shake. And what people did is, the manufacturing industry got, now they're getting kind of beat up for all this low carb granola, low carb this, low carb that. I'm sorry, low fat. Sorry. They got beat up for doing low fat in the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s. Now they're putting low carb, net carb on everything, which is totally confusing people, or no sugar or total sugar. Guys, it's really about what's processed food and what is whole food. So this is a processed shake, right? It's powder. It's actually a very high quality protein shake. But again, it's going to have total carbs versus dietary fiber versus sugar alcohol gives you a net carb. So they're going to try to teach you, they being the manufacturing industry, that they've got the best, simplest keto, low carb, low sugar shake for you because diabetes is such a hot topic. So what they want to have you do is actually take the total carbs listed, because by law they have to put the total carbs on there. So for this shake, it has total carbs at 16 grams, which is over half of the daily allowance I have for myself on a ketogenic lifestyle. Then they have the dietary fibers, which are 10. So we talk about dietary fibers. We talk about true fibers. So dietary fibers is actually defined as a nutrient that does not digest it in or require any GI enzymes or any gastrointestinal enzymes. So a dietary fiber does not call upon your gut bugs or your enzymes to actually need it for digestion. And then true fibers are ones that are not digested in the small intestine, but are actually fermented in the large intestine and require gut bugs or bacteria. So true fibers, not in the small intestine, which where nutrient absorption happens. We talk about large intestine being the place where our body actually gets ready for evacuation, makes antibodies, and it also ferments the true fibers into fermented products to get ready for evacuation. So this would again be total carbs, which is 16, minus 10 dietary fibers. That gives you 6 fibers, minus 2 sugar alcohol. So minus 2 again, that's minus 12 out of 16. They're going to say 4 net carbs, which actually started with 16. So we're going to make this super simple. I'm not going to beat up on people's companies. I'm going to make this very simple. Total carbs, when do I do math and when do I not do the math? Well, if you are eating whole foods like broccoli and asparagus, even things like beef, pork, those type of things, they all actually have carbohydrates, total carbs. So when you're eating fresh vegetables that have one ingredient and probably grew in nature, then yes, you can do the math on that. And that's what it was meant for. So if you're going to have 1 cup of broccoli, it's going to be 6 carbs. The fiber is going to be 4, which again does not be broken down. It does not change your blood sugar. It's going to be 2 net carbs. So yes, if it contains one ingredient and grew in nature, you absolutely can do the math, which is total versus whatever they give you, which is your net carbs. So you can put that into your daily formula. If it is a product, if it comes in a box, and this is just Adapt bars, if it comes in a jar, this is peanut butter, anything packaged foods, in a box, in a wrapper, in plastic, something that you can't even read all the words, that has more than one word on it, and you're having to actually Google the words, that's when you actually take whatever it says total carbs, like this shake, and that's what you count. So don't do any math if it's packaged. If it isn't packaged, one ingredient or less, then absolutely do the math on that. So hopefully that really clears up the conversation, because what happens is if people are truly on a ketogenic diet and maybe they're doing it for medical purposes, and I'm going to get real with you guys, it makes me super mad. My mom is a type 2 diabetic. She's trying to reverse her diabetes, trying to slow down that aging process, as we all are. I'm trying to prevent diabetes, as we all should be. So for her, when they're doing the trickery math, it makes me really mad, because she thinks she stayed underneath her carbohydrate allowance. And she didn't, because they did all this packaging special math, especially with sugar alcohols. The best way to tell, again, we're all unique individuals. We're all on different health paths. Some of us are just trying to cut out the sugar, and maybe you can do the net carbs then, and you're just trying to get rid of some of those. But I have honestly seen people's food diaries come to my office, and if I take the total carbs, they're like 200 total carbs. They do all this special math from processed foods and packaged foods. And they're like, no, I only had 20 to 25 net carbs. Why is my blood sugar still elevated? Why is my A1C elevated? Why is my cholesterol still high? Why am I still having inflammation? Because our guts are not perfect. We all know that. That's why people take prebiotics and postbiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and liver enzymes, and have to supplement amylase and lipase and all those other good bugs. Or we have healthy gut issues, right? Where things, either we're not going to the bathroom, we are going to the bathroom. I mean, we could get into leaky gut, but if you're a person who has any gut issues, and leaky gut can be gas, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, fatigue after eating, it can be blood in your stools, it can be blood after having your stools, anything like that that has anything to do with inflammation from the mouth to the toilet, and there's 30 different enzymes or processes that happen at least from the mouth to the toilet, then please do not do the math. Just take the total carbs from the food that you're eating and count that towards your daily allowance, because you will get into a lot of trouble trying to actually stay within whatever you've allotted for yourself on those total carbs, and it's going to get super, super confusing. So we're going to make it super simple, right guys? So with a net carb, it is anything that changes your blood sugar. So with my shake, it's saying only 4 to 16 grams will affect my blood sugar. And we all know that we all have different insulin sensitivities. We all have different metabolic rates and passages. So the easiest way, again, is to check your blood sugar. Eat something. Well, check your blood sugar first, eat something, wait 1 hour, wait 2 hours, and check it again. Our blood sugar should be back to normal 2 hours postprandial or 2 hours post a meal. So very simple. If it's one ingredient, it grew in nature, like a piece of broccoli or green beans or a salad or zucchini or tomatoes or even meats, and even nuts and seeds actually have, unless they're not chocolate coated or things like that, they all have some carbohydrates to them. So we know we have 3 macronutrients: carbohydrates, fats, and protein. So even our protein sources have a little bit of carbohydrates to it. Even nuts and seeds have a little bit of carbohydrates. So again, it's one ingredient: a sunflower seed, a pumpkin seed, a walnut, a steak, a broccoli. Yes, then subtract the total from the net, and that will give you your total, your net carbs for the day. But again, if it's packaged at all, it has more than one word, one ingredient, then please just take whatever the total carbs are and don't do any of the math. Don't fall into the trap. I'm not picking on Adapt. If they went and said, this net carbs, that net carbs, here it says net right here. Don't do the math knowing that you may have some gut issues, and keep it super simple. And that's what this is all about, keeping life simple. If you are a person who is counting carbs or trying to see actually where you are metabolically, maybe you don't even know where your carbohydrate tolerance is, you didn't even know you're supposed to count carbs, then this is absolutely for you, because we want you to start off on the right foot. So if this is you're brand new to the conversation, you were taught in the 80s this whole low fat conversation. Now we know that we're going to go low carb and higher fat, because we're going to replace that glucose energy with ketones. ketones, then please start keeping track of it. There's lots of different apps down. I'm going to ask you guys for your help today. So I know that I use my MyFitnessPal because it's easy to use and I know how to use it. I can also read a label in a package. I also know how to write it down on a piece of paper. But if you guys have an app that you're using that you love, please share it with the rest of everybody else. There's tons of new apps emerging. I generally like the free ones because I can share that with everybody, and everyone likes free. So know that I would love to know what you're using to count your carbohydrates. Again, the best way to do it is once you establish what that carbohydrate tolerance is for you. Carbohydrate tolerance is what evens out your blood sugar, what doesn't allow you to gain weight, what actually keeps you in that state of ketosis or keeps inflammation down, your insulin level down. That's your specific body, but again, it can change from day to day based on your sleep pattern, your stress, your daily intake of food. And I brought peanut butter out here just for a reason, because peanuts are one of the top 10 allergens. I did talk about dairy yesterday, but I'm not picking on peanuts. I'm not anti-peanuts, but peanuts are a top allergy. We have peanut-free zones on the airplanes now and in restaurants and in kiddos' schools. But if you're reading peanut butter, again, we said one ingredient, but this definitely has more than one ingredient because it has peanuts. It has peanuts, sugar, palm kernel oil, and salt. So with that being said, even though it's peanut butter, it has 4 ingredients in it. So it says total carbs 6, dietary fiber 2, and sugar 2. So they're going to tell you, 3. So they're going to tell you it has 1 net carb. Nope, remember, it didn't follow the rule. It came in a package, right? It has more than 1 word. It has peanuts, palm kernel oil, sugar, and salt. So that's the rule. We're actually going to take the serving size of the peanut butter. I'm trying to hide the label. And we are going to do total carbs on that. Same thing, came in a box, total carbs. Sorry, I don't have fresh broccoli here or a piece of meat here. That's right, Frank. So if it comes with 1 ingredient, and if it has 0 calories, you don't really have to worry. So hopefully that really clears up and makes this just a much easier way for you to be on your journey towards optimal health. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. This is day 8 of our Keto Basics. If you're just jumping in, you can just scroll back down. I want to make super simple 5 to 6 minute videos on your top questions about starting a keto life, the Keto Basics, where to even start from. I know I'm getting tons of questions to get kind of tunneled in or rabbit holed into specific diseases, and we will get to that. I got in a tangent yesterday about RSD, so I apologize for that. I don't know how to crop it down. I should just do a new one. But on our Thursday night, which is every Thursday night on Facebook, 7:30 Central Standard Time, I have what's called Health Flicks. There always seems to be like a trend that goes on during the week, either at my clinic or the questions that I get here through my blog or through my Facebook or with my patients. So I try to keep that to about a 25-minute conversation with you all. So if you want to stay tuned for that, there's simply a link up above. Just put your email address in there and you can, I think, name an email address. It's just a Google Docs form. And then I actually just send you an email and let me know what we're talking about on Thursday nights. And we are going to start segmenting into the diseases like you guys talked about. Maybe some people want to hear it, but not everybody wants to hear about thyroid. Not everybody wants to hear about adrenals. I had a great question about allergies, how to eat on an allergy-free diet. So that's definitely going to be one of our Health Flick topics. Thyroid, again, I can't do it in 5 minutes. That's going to be one of our Health Flick topics. I already do have one. I'll share that back out. But I want to know what app you guys are using, so please share that down below. And then again, remember, 1 ingredient. This is, I'm going to say it one more time, 1 ingredient, real food. Frank has avocados, broccoli, egg. I'm not for sure about bacon, Frank. I would take that off because it's really hard to get bacon that just has bacon and salts. It's because there generally is something else in there, but definitely meat. Definitely if it's coconut oil by itself. Definitely if it is, I don't know, it's an apple or red pepper, coffee, drummed, like yes. So protein, nuts or seeds, vegetables, a whole fruit, total carbs. You can take the fiber out and that will give you your net carbs. No net carbs. Remember, net carbs are the ones that raise your blood sugar. So hopefully that brought you some very clarity on this. Remember, this video is meant to be shared. It's meant for education purposes. And I definitely want to hear what app you're using. I definitely want to know what other questions you'd like to talk about on this 10-day series of Keto Life or Keto Basics. Because again, the keto word is totally disrupting the health and wellness nutrition world. I'm super excited. I've been talking low carb keto for over 2 decades. I'm not going to say how old I am, but it's so exciting to see that we actually are learning from our mistakes, which was the high carbohydrate, high sugar diet. Remember, there's no essential carbohydrates. So I don't know why we're counting them, but we're not counting them. There are no essential carbohydrates. that we actually need for our body to run on. Our body can actually break down excess proteins, and we can make glucose from that called through gluconeogenesis. But know that this is meant to help you better understand how you can help optimize your life. And it's not as about everyone being keto. This is about everyone eating cleaner, everyone eating whole foods. Like again, we talk about total carbohydrates, one ingredient, fresh food, and not packaged stuff. I do have it in my house, but not packaged stuff. Again, there is a time and place for it. And this is about being better. It's not about being perfect. I know some people are like, well, if you're true keto, you need to do this. This is not about everyone being keto. This is about everyone finding their place. So get in where you fit in. If you are a person who is drinking out of plastic, you are microwaving dinners and buying them in a box and freezer section, and this week you actually pick up an organic rotisserie chicken and an organic head of broccoli, and you put some grass-fed butter, that is a huge win for you. So fist bump, it's about your journey towards better. We are all not perfect, right? Not myself included, and I want to help you learn. I want to help you learn and grow in your journey towards optimal health. The amazing thing is our body can heal, it can repair. We have to simply just remove those interferences. Why do I talk about food? We know that number one, we have to have oxygen. We can only go 2 or 3 minutes without it. Number two, we have to have water. So we could talk about water every day. It's that important, and 79% of us are dehydrated. Number three, we need energy to do our day-to-day basis. We need energy to sleep. We need energy to think. We need energy to walk around, move around. We need energy for our kidneys to eliminate, our heart to beat, our eyes to blink, our mouth to talk. We get that from the foods that we eat. So based on the quality of the energy source actually determines our productivity and our performance on a day-to-day basis. So again, this is Dr. Heather saying have an amazing, amazing day. It's a beautiful day here in Kansas in the Midwest. And I am very excited to have you guys join me. Please hit that share button. Please tag someone down below. And if you are actually watching this on a replay, because I'm trying to find the right time for everybody. I didn't think there'd be that many people on today. Actually put a 2 down if you're watching this on replay. And don't forget to sign up above so you can stay tuned on all of my webinars, my Zooms when I get a new topic out. And also you can jump over to my YouTube channel, which is Ask Dr. Heather. Have an amazing day, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys soon.